What's up, YouTube? It's the Tank47. We are here today, back after 2 months of not streaming or posting any new content, because I just transitioned jobs, and now I'm going to be working on a different shift. So you're going to have streams coming at you at different times now, probably during the day. So if you guys have time while you're at work, while you're sitting at home getting ready for work, if you work second shift, or if you get off of work and you want to check out a cool stream or cool content, make sure you check out my YouTube channel. I'm going to be streaming a lot of Pokemon Unite there, along with my good buddy CabZGT, who we also going to have some awesome, cool card content, trading card, Pokemon cards coming at you pretty soon as well. So before we get into the video today, we're going to be doing something a little bit new today. We're going to be doing a Guess That Grade. So we're going to be sending in our cards to the Grading Authority, which is a company owned in part by A-Drive. Shout out to A-Drive and his team for putting together such cool artwork on their slabs. So that's kind of one of the main reasons why I selected going to the Grading Authority over something like the PSA. I mean, that and then the price point alone for just sending them to PSA would be astronomical in comparison to what I can do with TGA. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I selected them, and because it's really cool slabs. I'm going to put some of these slabs up on the screen right now, so that way you guys can kind of see what kind of slabs they offer. You are allowed to pick up your own color, and then it kind of adds your own personalization to the graded cards, which is kind of cool. So we're gonna be doing a guess that grade. So I got all my cards I'm gonna be ready to send in to the grading authority. Once we get these back, we're gonna be doing a reveal video as well to see how accurate I was. This is the first time I'm going to be grading any cards, so actually I'm going to be really hard on myself, and probably going to be a little bit even more disappointed when these cards come back, just because, I'm thinking that these are perfect cards or better cards than what they probably really are. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come back as. So again, there's a bunch of different grades that you can get in card grading through the TGA. It's Immaculate is the best card. That's what you really want. That's the best card out there. And then you got Pristine, which is a 10 still. And then you got your standard grades, which is 9.5, a half step down for everyone, all the way down to basically not gradable. So today we're going to be getting into our cards. So first up, we have Umbreon VMAX from the new Evolving Skies set. So this is one of my most recent pulls, actually. I got a really cool one out of. We're going to be doing some more Evolving Skies soon. As you can see behind me, I got a nice little box there, so we'll be opening that up soon on YouTube video in the future as well. But first up, we got our Umbreon. So big things to focus on when grading cards is centering, and then obviously quality of cards. So the card itself is pretty good looking. It doesn't have any blemishes on it. Um, don't think there's going to be anything taken off for that. Let's turn it over and check the centering. So for me, kind of looks like we are probably going to go with like an 8.5 maybe on this. You can see it's a little bit off center, a little bit narrow here on the left side and on the bottom compared to the top and the right here. So I'm going to go with like an 8.5. I think this one will get. Not too bad, but still a very good grade for a card. um, we got Sylveon VMAX next, another one from the Evolving Skies set. So again, fresh pull, not going to be any damage to the front of the card because I protect my cards right away. Doesn't look like there's any blemishes. Corners, back, check the centering. I think this one we may go about an 8.5 again. You can kind of see again it's a little bit narrower here, left hand side. You got a little bit more space on the top and on the right again, and then on the bottom here, a little bit narrower. So again, not too bad of a looking card. Probably going to go about an 8.5. Next up, from the Battle Style set, we got our Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. So again, fresh pull, not too old, protected right away. Not going to be too worried about the front of the card. Back of the card, it actually looks pretty good. This one I say might be able to get into the 9, maybe even a 9.5. Don't know how easy it is to get a 10, so we're going to be a little bit liberal with our 10s and maybe be a little bit more hopeful with our 10s. But again, this is a beautiful looking card. And the back looks pretty good centering wise. All right. Next up is our Gardevoir Secret Pull from our Champions Path set. So this one, again, pretty fresh on the front. Not going to be too many scratches. If you do see any scratches on this video here, it's most likely on these card protectors and not on the card itself. So don't worry about that. Back, let's check out the centering. Oh, so you can see a lot more room here on the left just by an initial glance. Top to bottom doesn't look too bad. I'd say I'm going to go with an 8, maybe an 8.5 on this one. Again, not too sure how strict they will be on these cards. Our next card up is going to be our Eternus VMAX. This is from the Darkness Blazing set that came out. So a fresh pull, protected right away. Doesn't look like there's too many scratches on this card. Turn it around, check the back, and again you can see that the centering is off, or a little bit to the left, or a little bit to the right instead of the left, leaving you a little bit more space. Top to bottom, not too bad. Bottom is a little bit thicker than the top, so I'd probably go in the 8.5 category for this card as well. Next up, from our Sun and Moon promo, we have a tag team Pikachu and Zekrom GX card. So definitely really big fan of this card. I just love how it looks. So I'm definitely going to be getting, I think, a gold slab for this card just to see how that would make this card pop. But looking at the front, 2019 card. I don't know if I protected this one right away, but it does look pretty good. We go around, flip over to the back. We can see a little bit off center to the left. Top to bottom, not bad. I'd say we probably play it safe with a 7.5 at 8. Front of the card looks pretty good, so not too bad of a card again. Probably going to be in that 7.5 to 8 category. Our next up card, we got our Mewtwo EX from our Evolutions set. So X and Y Evolutions. I did get this card recently. Actually, I believe I opened this card here on my YouTube channel. You can find some of my other opening card videos here on my YouTube channel. Make sure you check those out and then pay attention for the new ones coming out. But we got our Mewtwo EX here. You can check a little bit up front on the centering too with the gold border. You can see this is a little bit narrower here. It's a lot more clear on these cards, a little bit older cards, as they have borders on the front instead of being the full art of today's packs. So we got a little bit off center there. Front looks pretty good. Back, I'd say it looks pretty good centering wise almost. You do got a little bit narrower here on the right hand side. On the left, it looks pretty good, or on the top to bottom, it looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit thicker on the top. I'm going to go at 8.5 to 9, I think, on this card. All right, we got our Mega Blastoise EX from our Evolutions X and Y pack. So again, really cool looking card. Centering wise, front looks pretty good. No scratches. Centering wise, it doesn't look too bad on the front. Flip around. Our corners are pretty good. Not too much white showing at all. Looks pretty good centering wise. Maybe a little bit thicker on here on our left side than our right. I'd probably say this is in our 8.5 to 9 category. Next up, we got our Mega Charizard EX from our Evolution set again. Really cool looking card. Centering wise, doesn't look bad on the front. I know I protected this one right away when I opened it. And then we got the back. Centering looks pretty good. On the left, maybe a little bit thicker than on our right. Top to bottom looks pretty good. I'm going to be a little bit liberal and just say an 8.5 because this is a Charizard again. Charizards are always going to be probably the #1 cards available out there. So you always want to be a little bit more liberal with those guesses. You don't want to be too too hopeful that you're going to get that holy grail of a 10. So our next one up is actually a really cool Charizard. It's from the Evolution set again. It's the remake of the base set Evolution or Charizard Hollow. And you can see this is pretty fresh again. No blemishes on the front. Centering on the front, you can tell a little bit more on the left here is narrower than the right. Top to bottom, you can tell the bottom is a little bit more narrower. I believe the scale is 95.5 or no 50 or 45.50 for a perfect 10, and I don't think we're in that range. So I don't think this one will be a perfect 10. I think this one may be again probably in the 8.5 to 9 range based on our centering. That one could be worth some decent money if it comes out to be a pretty good grade, but we'll see. And again, this one now is going to be worth some pretty money or pretty good money if we could get it to be a good grade. This one is an older card that was in a binder for quite some time, so I am going to be quite liberal with our grade here. You can tell there's a little bit of fading here. Otherwise, the card looks really good from the front, no blemishes. Centering wise, it doesn't look too bad. Centering on the back looks pretty good. So for our Lugia here, I'm going to go with an 8. Maybe even a little bit lower just based on that little blemish there and over here. And that may be part of the design, but somehow I feel like that was not part of the design and that's just a misprint or fading over time. Our next card up is Mewtwo, so I am not too optimistic about this grade just because I can tell from the way it was. This one, again, was in a binder for a while. We had some blemishes down here. A little bit of blemish up here. Centering-wise, I know this one is supposed to be thicker, but I don't think it looks too thick or looks just right. Maybe it was a little bit too much there. And you can tell on the back a little bit white around the corners here. Again, up here where you can see the blemishes on the front. Centering wise on the back, thicker here than here. And top to bottom doesn't look too bad, but a little bit thinner on the bottom. So for our Mewtwo, I think we're going to go with about a 6. Maybe a 5.5 even. Not too optimistic on that grade, but I definitely want to get it graded because that's one of my older cards that we had. Next one up is our Articuno. This is from the Legendary Collection. I really enjoy this card. This awesome looking holographic, reverse holographic. The Starburst kind of hollow there. Front wise, not too bad. Not too many blemishes. In fact, I don't think I see too many at all, if any. Not much white damage here. This was again in a binder for a while, so I'm definitely not going to be too optimistic. A little bit of whiting right around the top there. Centering wise, not too bad. A little bit of white around this left hand here. I would say this one maybe has a chance at an 8, maybe a 7.5. But as it was in a binder, if we get that high, I will be very happy. Our next one up is a big card for me. This is one of our better cards that we had stashed. Again, it was in a binder, so not too optimistic on its grade, but could be worth some money if it was to grade out pretty well. So this is our Charizard from our Legendary Collection. Again, another remake from our original Hollow Charizard. This one doesn't have the flame as it does in Evolution set, but this one is still one of the most sought after Charizards after the base set and base set 2, I'm sure. We got a little red blemish here that I believe is maybe a misprint because it's not. I couldn't imagine it being any food or anything like that, but it wasn't a binder. This was from my childhood, again, 2002, so pretty old card. You can see a little bit of blemish up here. There's a little black mark there. And if you hold it just right, I hope that this is on the outside. But you can see a little bit of fading right here. So under microscope, I don't know if this would hold up too well. Flip it around, check our centering. Got a little bit of white mark here, a little bit of white on the corner up here. Definitely not getting a 10 on this one. Centering wise, a little bit top to bottom, not bad. Left to right, not too bad. Maybe a little bit thinner on our right hand side. Grading wise, because we got a blemish here and a blemish up here, I'm going to say that this will probably come out to be about a 6. Don't think I'll be getting too lucky on that one either. All right, our next one. Some of the better cards I have now. Again, Charizards are one of the best Pokemon cards you can get. But again, this one is from our Shiny Vault. So we actually pulled this one just today. I actually bought a Dragon Vault box set just to see if I can get anything awesome out of a pack of Shining Legends or Shining Fates, sorry. And we did pull a Charizard VMAX. So shiny, awesome looking card. Front, no blemishes. Fresh pull today, so I don't think we're going to have any blemishes whatsoever unless it's a misprint from the manufacturer. So we got left to right. Looks really good. Top to bottom. Looks really good. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is a 9.5 to 10, leaning towards a 10. So I think this one might be our first 10 card that we talked about today and looked at. And because I'm just so lucky like that, I have a second Charizard VMAX Shiny. This one we pulled back when Shining Fates first came out. Front of the card looks pretty good. Centering wise on the back looks pretty good. A little bit thicker on the top, so not as perfectly center as the other one. This one maybe our 9.5, maybe a 9. Don't think we'll get a perfect 10 on this card. Getting down here towards our end, we only got a few more cards to go. So this is from our Vivid Voltage set, Pikachu VMAX. This is actually the first set that got me back into Pokemon card opening, so I'm actually really excited to see what these come out to be. Front looked really good. Back, no white. Got a little bit thicker on the top. Left to right looks pretty good. I say this one might be an 8.5, 9. I don't think we'll get a 10, too many 10s out of these cards. Hopefully we do. Hopefully I'm wrong and just being underwhelming about which cards might come out to be a 10. This one again is Alistair from Vivid Voltage, same set. Secret card here, so I like the rainbow in those cards. Centering wise, it looks like it's a little bit thicker on our left here already, just on the front, and yeah, definitely looks a little bit thicker on the left, and then definitely thicker on the top. So maybe about an 8 on this card. Rayquaza. So here's our Rayquaza. This is not that valuable of a card. It's just a really awesome looking card, so I wanted to get it protected and slabbed. Rayquaza with the little color print behind it from the Vivid Voltage set. Front looks really good. Centering on the front looks pretty good. Flip it over. Centering looks really good. A little bit larger on the top or on the bottom than the top. I'd say this one probably around a 9. And our last card here today that we're going to be talking about is our Celebi from the same Vivid Voltage set. This one is another color splash that I really just wanted to protect because it's so cool looking. Centering on the front, you can tell a little bit more on the left, it looks like. Front of the card itself looks in pretty good condition. Back of the card looks pretty well centered. Thicker on the right than on our left. Not too bad top to bottom. I think this one may come out 9, 9.5. Not a bad looking card at all. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up my predictions. How many do you think I'm going to get right? Put your comment down below. If you guess how many I get right, I'm going to send you a pack of our Champions collection. When we get that, that's going to be dropping on October 8th. That's the next big set that's coming out. 25-year celebration of Pokemon cards. It's going to have a bunch of different sets of cards. I think there's going to be Dark Team Rocket cards even coming back. So I'm really excited to see what those contain. But our next couple of videos are going to be on our 2 ETBs we got behind us. and another opening of our Evolving Skies set that I'm actually going to be teasing a little bit today. So if you guys are interested in any battle box openings, me and my buddy CabZGT are going to be dropping a video that's going to have us going toe to toe to see who gets the best cards. We might make some of a bet, or we might just do it for fun. We'll see what happens. But until then, guys, peace. Tank out.